You tuned in to Just Vibe with Melody. I tossed and turned last night thinking, what am I going to speak about for today's topic? And then my email went off. When I looked at my email, I realized that I received a notification from a change.org petition that I had signed for Earl Powell. Included in the email was a request urging me to share this petition in hopes of getting more signatures. So I thought, why not bring this petition right here to the channel? It is time for us Black people to start rallying behind each other. It is a brutal shame that there are so many of us that are wrongfully convicted and sentenced to decades in prison. We have heard these stories time and time again and all too often. And it's time that we stand up with one voice against this atrocity that has been committed against our race and have a voice to say no more. If there are any of our people that are incarcerated wrongfully, then they need to be released, and they need to be released immediately. My prayer is that I can bring this petition to our platform in hopes that we can get more signatures. So please consider jumping on board. We're getting into this conversation right now. Welcome to the year 1865, where slavery is abolished, but it doesn't end. It just begins to rear its head in a different form. We went from slavery on plantations and in a masses house to slavery in correctional facilities. You see, they needed time to figure out a different way to keep us enslaved because they knew that they could not keep us in physical chains forever. So they plotted and they planned just as they did when they came to Africa and took so many Black people from the continent. When they came up with their perfect plan, they said, let's abolish slavery because now we have a different agenda in mind. No longer do we need field work, but now we need industrial work. We need a way to still keep these people in chains, get the job done, but in a different way. We'll give them the illusion that they are free. You see, slavery was abolished, but it was never truly abolished. It just simply changed faces. You see, we have always been looked at as just cattle, and it was no different from when they came to Africa and decided to exploit us all the way across the ocean up until the point of abolishing slavery, which we know that never happened. Slavery just began to rear its ugly head in a different form. And it leads us right into today's conversation. I recently was on TikTok and I came across a video.
Look at you. We love you, Earl. Yeah. Thank you for me. I was just talking about this baby. This Cam baby. Oh, that's Cam. Yeah, that's Cam. Hey, they got Cam for real. Come on. Hey, she came here on time. I was speeding when I got here. I was speeding when I got
an African-American male who was granted access to attend his father's funeral. Now, because he was incarcerated during the time of his father's passing, he had to get special permission in order to be able to attend. They granted him permission, but he was escorted to his father's funeral, shackled and in chains, just like an animal. And in the moment when I seen that, my heart just broke 1,000 times over for our people. And I thought maybe he was in jail because of poor decisions that he made. I made a comment, something like, I'm tired of seeing our people paraded around like animals, and I wish that we would start to make different decisions. Because they are looking for bodies to fill up their jail facilities, and no longer should it be our people. And long and behold, as I scrolled up, I came across another post from the same woman who had posted the man attending his father's funeral. And this time she spoke directly. She stated that her husband had been wrongly convicted and sentenced to 66 years in prison. Now, this incident took place in North Carolina, and this man was charged with, I believe it was 3 counts of attempted murder. Not even murder, attempted murder, and was sentenced to 66 years in prison without a shred of evidence to prove this claim. And as I heard her story, I kind of felt bad instantly because I prejudged the situation. I thought that he was there because of poor decisions. When in all actuality, this is an innocent man who has been in jail for now 10 whole years while trying to fight his case. And it always leads me back to the question, if we are innocent until proven guilty, why are we even in jail to begin with? Because how do you put an innocent person behind bars? So if the person hasn't yet been convicted, why are they being held captive? This is a question that I have always asked about the judicial system because it never truly made sense to me. It just goes to show that the justice system in America is not in favor of justice for us, but in favor of how they can manipulate the system and bend the system according to their wants and needs. According to what his wife had to say, Earl Powell is an innocent man, and she has taken to social media in efforts and hopes to get her husband free. So I ask that we all stand behind her and Earl Powell, an African-American man, and we sign this petition in support of him in hopes that he can gain his freedom. We've seen how things have went very wrong for our culture of people who have been massively incarcerated. Y'all remember the movie, The Central Park 5? If you haven't ever had the opportunity to go watch it, go and check it out. I literally cried that whole entire movie. The impact that that movie had on my life, it changed my outlook and my perception on the justice system. I mean, it was already tainted, and I was already never in favor of it. But to see this movie and see the atrocities played out against our people really put my mind in a different place, and it really opened my mind to just how corrupt the justice system is in America and how far they're willing to go to continue to keep us suppressed as a people. Their intention was never to free us. Their intention was never to be on one accord with us. Their intention was never for us to get to the levels and the heights that they had reached. Their only desire was to continue to always keep us suppressed, use our resources, and build their countries off of our backs, which they still continue to do today. Because as I mentioned, slavery didn't go away, it just changed faces. So we went from working in cotton fields to working in prisons for cents. And it is the primary reason why they continue to keep our Black people massively incarcerated so that they can keep their jails full. And they know that if they can take away all of the programs for the youth and instill an educational system that's not there to really teach our kids, but really to keep our kids suppressed and train our kids on how to go to jail. Because that's exactly what the school system does, and I don't care who want to jump in the comments and argue with me about it. That whole entire system in America was never set up in favor of us, but set up in a way that it will always continue to keep us suppressed while they continue to elevate more and more. The wealth gap that happens in America between Black and white is no coincidence. It's something that is systemically set in place and created to do exactly what it's doing today in America. And any time in history that we as Black people have stood up and actually started to gain something for ourselves, build our own communities, establish wealth, they found a way to come into our neighborhoods and tear down all of our efforts. My heart goes out to the situation with Earl Powell because there are so many of us like him that is in that position. And I feel like they're in there and they're suffering in silence. There's literally no one that is standing up and being very vocal about this topic. Because you hear about it here and there when the person gets out after spending decades in jail. Upon their release, then we hear an overturn happened and they finally were released from prison. But the damage has been done, and there's no amount of money that you can give a person to replace all of those lost years and time away from their family that has been spent. And not to mention, if they went in there as kids, they have lost their entire childhood behind bars and never given the opportunity to truly live as children. And these are moments in time that money can never bring back or replace. So I hope that we can start to bring issues like this to the forefront exactly when they're happening, and for the issues that are currently present and for the people that are currently incarcerated and wrongfully convicted, I hope that we can shed some light on these issues and immediately get them resolved and corrected. Because there's no reason why a person should have to sit in jail for years upon years for a crime that they did not commit. They are just out here doing everything that they did when they landed on a continent of Africa by scoping the land, taking our people against their will, and bringing them across the ocean. It's no different in America. Now they're just doing it in neighborhoods. They're targeting low-income areas where they can just go in, snatch us black people up the street, and put us behind bars. No questions asked, no information needed. We are just jailed. So the manhunt has moved from the continent of Africa to the neighborhoods in America where the majority of our people dwell. And as long as you are brown skinned, it does not matter whether you're wrong or right. Because as long as you're in the skin that we are in their eyes, you are forever wrong, even if you did nothing wrong. They continuously target us. We have to start putting measures in place to protect ourselves and protect our people. Because if not, they will continue to falsely incarcerate us, all in efforts to continue to keep their prisons populated and keep free labor going. I am convinced that the correctional institution in America has become the backbone of that country. All the free labor that comes out of that facility by the majority of our people that are incarcerated, and a lot of them wrongfully incarcerated, is unbelievable. If you look into the amount of goods that are created from a prison facility, your mouth will probably hit the floor. Well, it's time for us to start standing up and being vocal. Start shedding light on these very important topics and issues that is happening with our people and backing each other up. And you can do it with something as simple as signing this petition. So I urge each and every one of you that is watching this video, please find it in your heart and take the time to support Earl Powell. Join in on the fight of many of us that has already signed this petition and add your name to the list. That's it for today's video. Drop a comment down below and let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. And quick channel announcement. As for now, I have put a hold on shipping products for sacred minerals to the U.S. Shipping is way too crazy right now here in Ghana, and I need a moment to kind of sort through this all and figure out the best way to move forward to get products to the U.S. So please bear with me as I temporarily shut down, regroup, and figure out how to best move forward. But in the meantime, if you are a woman who has been struggling with infertility, if you are a woman who has been struggling with your own sense of identity, if you are a woman who has been struggling with connecting to your spiritual self, then I have an ebook now. I am officially an author. Check out my new book, My Sacred Wounds Healed. Officially for sale starting today on Amazon. So I hope that you support me in a different way for now and purchase this book. And even if you're a man, get this book for your mom, aunts, or cousins. This is an amazing read packed with so many sacred healings and teachings from our ancestors. So what are you waiting for? Go shop Amazon right now. I will put the link in this video description. Thank you in advance, as always, for all of your support. I'm also working on adding this book to sacredminerals.org, and hopefully I'll have it done before I drop this video. So if you haven't already, not for products as of now, but go ahead and purchase my book. I will see y'all on the next video.